Uzumaki. In the small coastal town of Kurozucho, people start noticing strange patterns. It starts off small. People notice patterns in seashells or the way smoke curls through the air. Nothing too out of the ordinary. We all notice those once in a while. Then it starts to get weird. They start fixating on them. One man becomes so captivated by spirals that he refuses to look at anything else, twisting his own body until he was able to fit into a barrel, where he dies. Another girl's hair grows into massive, hypnotic spirals that drain her life away while mesmerizing everyone who looks at her. This is a little more than an obsession. It's an infection. The spiral is alive in some way and wants to consume the people of a town. What makes Uzumaki terrifying isn't just the body horror, it's the sense that the town is doomed from the start. Every attempt to resist ends in failure. Every new spiral consumes someone else. Even when people try to leave, they find the roads twisted back on themselves. Kurozucho is a trap. Every escape route folds into the spiral's geometry, trapping people in its orbit. And this isn't a curse that can be lifted or a monster that can be killed. The spiral doesn't think. It doesn't reason. It doesn't want anything in the way a human or even a demon might. It is a force of nature, older and more inevitable than logic itself. You can't plead with it or resist it. It just turns endlessly, drawing everything into its pattern. And the scariest part? Nobody wins. By the end, the entire town is swallowed. People are crushed into spiral patterns underground, their bodies twisted beyond recognition, their lives reduced to a repeating pattern with no escape. The spiral consumes the past, the present, and the future until all that's left is endless repetition.
Oceania. In the George Orwell novel 1984, there's a place where even your own private thoughts could be considered a crime against the state. That's the life the citizens of Oceania are subjected to every day. On the surface, it may look like your everyday authoritarian state. There's one leader, Big Brother, plastered on posters everywhere, watching you with those cold, unblinking eyes. But it goes much deeper than that. Much deeper. It's about controlling the very person you are. Start with surveillance. Every home has a telescreen, a two-way device that constantly spews propaganda while watching you back. You don't get to turn it off. You don't get privacy. If you so much as twitch your face the wrong way during the 2 minutes hate, someone will notice. And in Oceania, even the suspicion of disloyalty is enough to get you disappeared in the middle of the night. And then there's the language itself. The party understands that if you can't think it, you can't rebel. That's the whole point of newspeak, the official language designed to shrink the range of thought. Words like freedom and justice aren't merely discouraged, they're erased. Every year, the vocabulary gets smaller, and with it, the ability to even imagine resistance. Society runs on lies. The Ministry of Truth spends its entire existence rewriting history so that the party is always right. Today, Oceania is at war with Eurasia. Yesterday, it was East Asia. Tomorrow, it could be both, or neither. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you believe whatever you're told, even if it directly contradicts what you saw with your own eyes. Reality itself is something the party edits at will. And what happens if you don't believe what the Ministry of Truth says? That's where the thought police comes in. Don't have to say or do anything to get in trouble with them. Your thoughts alone are enough for that. Torture isn't used to extract confessions. It's used to break you, to reprogram you, until you genuinely love Big Brother. In Oceania, the party doesn't stop at killing rebels. They erase them from history, from memory, from reality itself. It's not enough for you to obey. You must surrender your soul.
Warhammer 40K. The Warhammer universe is no joke. Imagine a universe where progress didn't lead to enlightenment, peace, or freedom. It instead leads to endless war. That's the reality of Warhammer 40K. In the 41st millennium, humanity has spread across the stars, but instead of sleek starships and utopian worlds, you get a civilization that places the minimum value on human life. Humanity is ruled by the Imperium of Man, a vast, theocratic empire that basically worships a corpse in the Emperor of mankind, a ruler that has been kept barely alive for 10,000 years, his decaying body locked in a golden throne that consumes 1,000 souls every day just to keep alive. Doing the math real quick, that's over 3.65 billion people sacrificed in the 10,000 years he has been kept alive on the throne. But to the Imperium, that's an insignificant statistic, as they control over 1 million worlds that are inhabited by tens of quadrillions of people. His priests and bureaucrats preach blind obedience, twisting every aspect of life into religious dogma. There is no art, no questioning, no freedom, only service to the Emperor. And yet, even with this suffocating control, the Imperium is constantly on the brink of collapse. Every corner of the galaxy is a battlefield. The alien races that surround humanity aren't just rivals, they're nightmares. The orcs are green-skinned hordes who live only to fight, and their sheer numbers mean there's never an end to them. The Eldar are ancient, psychic beings whose arrogance once tore the fabric of reality itself. The Tyranids sweep through galaxies like locusts, stripping entire worlds bare of all organic life. And the Necrons are an undying machine race that sees humanity as little more than an infestation to be eradicated. And due to these never-ending wars, over 100 million soldiers lose their lives. Every day, from wars alone. But the greatest threat doesn't even come from outside. It comes from the warp. Think of it as a parallel dimension of pure chaos, where emotions become living entities. It's the source of faster-than-light travel, but also home to the 4 chaos gods, each one a cosmic embodiment of corruption. Whole worlds vanish overnight to cults that pledge themselves to chaos, trading their humanity for monstrous power. What makes Warhammer 40k uniquely horrifying is that there's no good side. The Imperium is a brutal, authoritarian nightmare, where an average citizen's life means nothing. The aliens are predators, parasites, or manipulators who care nothing for human survival. Chaos is corruption without end. And unlike most fictional universes, there is no path to peace, no secret weapon, no hidden savior. The tagline says it all. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.
The Otherworld, Coraline. On the surface, Coraline's Otherworld looks like a dream come true. It's colorful, whimsical, and everything the real world is not. For Coraline, whose parents are too distracted and too tired to pay her much attention, the Otherworld feels like a miracle. The food tastes better, the garden blooms with impossible beauty. Her other mother showers her with warmth and affection. It's a place where she matters, where the loneliness that stalks her every day finally melts away. But beneath that bright surface, there's rot. The Otherworld isn't the paradise it paints itself out to be. It's a trap. The Other Mother is not a parent. She's a predator. Her greatest weapon isn't violence. It's temptation. She offers Coraline everything she craves, and then whispers the price. Sew buttons into your eyes, surrender your identity, and stay forever. The Otherworld exposes something deeply unsettling about human needs. People want to feel loved, seen, and cherished. But in Coraline's case, that need becomes a weakness to be exploited. The Other Mother twists the most innocent desire, a child wanting affection, into a leash. The world she built is not for Coraline's joy. It's a stage for control. And the deeper Coraline looks, the more the mask slips. The beauty fades into uncanny distortions. The Other Father, once cheerful and kind, becomes a puppet, literally collapsing into a shell controlled by the mother. Most horrifying of all are the ghost children, past victims who also thought they'd found a better life. Now, their souls are trapped, voiceless and forgotten, their eyes replaced by buttons, their bodies long gone. They're the cautionary tale made flesh, the cost of giving in to the lie.
Silent Hill. Silent Hill looks like an abandoned town, buried in fog and ash, as if time itself has stopped. But beneath that stillness, it's alive. The town feeds on people, drawing out their fears, sins, and traumas, and giving them shape. Monsters are nightmares made flesh. Reality itself fractures here. Streets collapse into endless chasms, buildings twist and rot. The town shifts into its other world, where rust devours walls, blood stains every surface, and unseen machinery grinds in the dark. It's a hostile, unstable place where sanity unravels. Every creature carries meaning. The faceless nurses embody repressed desire and medical horror. Pyramid Head isn't simply a killer, but judgment itself, dragging victims through suffering they can never escape. Silent Hill doesn't allow peace or quick death. It forces people to face themselves until they're broken. And the cruelty is older than any one person. Centuries of blood, witch trials, cult sacrifices, ritual murders have soaked into the soil. Misery is its foundation, and every generation adds another layer. Even escape is a lie. Survivors are scarred, hollowed out, sometimes pulled back against their will. Gears of war. On the planet Serra, war was already endless. Nations fought for dwindling resources,
leaving the world scarred long before the real nightmare began. Then came Emergence Day, the moment the locust erupted from beneath the earth. Cities fell in hours, millions died, and humanity realized the ground itself was no longer safe. The coalition of ordered governments pulled survivors into fortified cities, abandoning the rest to ruin. Outside the walls, wastelands stretched for miles, burned landscapes, shattered families, corpses left to rot. Inside, life meant order under an iron fist. Survival demanded sacrifice, and ordinary people paid the price. The locusts weren't just mindless beasts. They were a desperate species fighting their own war underground, driven upward by forces humanity barely understood. That truth stripped away illusions of good and evil. Both sides fought from desperation. Both built their survival on cruelty. War consumed not just the world, but the people. Soldiers like Marcus Phoenix and his squad carried endless loss, fighting battles they knew they could never truly win. Children grew up to the sound of gunfire, playing in rubble instead of fields. Even victories came hollow, costing too much to mean anything.